everyone, and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I have another Netflix exclusive review for you guys. I'm going to review a horror film on Netflix by the name of Hypothermia. Pretty much what the main plot of Hypothermia is, we have two families that have came out to do a little bit of ice fishing on a little, family vacation. And little do they know, there is actually a creature living under the ice that is ready to just feast on their flesh. And once the actual two families find out that there is a creature under the ice, they make it their mission and their goal pretty much to catch this creature that is under the ice. That's pretty much what the main plot of the horror film on Netflix titled by the name of Hypothermia. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on the horror film Hypothermia, I thought this film was pretty decent. I really liked it. No, I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it was extraordinary, but I did like it quite a bit. And let me tell you some of the reasons why I liked it. One of the reasons was some of the actors in it. I don't know who they are, but I thought two of the actors in the movie Hypothermia on Netflix, I thought they really stole the show in some scenes. One of the characters is a father character. And I really enjoyed him. He's kind of the main guy in the film. At first, he's just, trying to, catch some fish up under the ice until they find the creature, and then he decides, hey, let's try and catch the creature. I liked his character overall. He was just kind of a, I don't know what it was about him, but he had a certain presence and just kind of a cool personality to him that I just really enjoyed overall. And then there was another father character that he was the one that drove out there with the truck and the RV, and I liked his character a lot too. He just had sort of a, just a really cool personality to him, trying to, he was the one that really wanted to catch the creature, and he had to kind of do some convincing to the other guy to get that family involved in, catching the creature. So both of those characters kind of stood out in whole. Another reason I liked the movie was the kind of just the setting. It had a nice setting. I believe the film takes place in the state of Maine, I believe, and in the entire film, except for like a few minutes of it, the first few minutes is in this cabin out near the ice, but the rest of the film takes place, on the actual ice itself, and it had kind of just a nice setting to it as the creature would pop up several times out of the actual ice itself. So it just had kind of a nice setting to it that I thought worked really well with the film. My only really complaint about the film is, it had some great acting in it, had kind of a nice setting to it, a nice concept to it, the concept, of them, I thought it was really cool, the concept of them trying to catch this creature that is underneath the ice. It was just kind of a really nice concept, really kind of a cool plot once you actually find out, what the creature is, and, it's just had a lot of cool ideas in it that I just thought were really interesting when you go throughout the film watching it. My only really complaint about Hypothermia is the way the creature looked. It wasn't, because they used practical effects for the way it looked, and yes, it's a low budget film. I guess you could say a B film, but that wasn't really the problem. Because I don't have a problem with low budget horror films. I love low budget horror films. The problem is that you could tell that it was just a guy in a suit. And don't get me wrong, I love my practical effects. The Thing, the Feast films John Gulager directed. Those two films, stick out in my mind a lot when I think of practical effects, especially creature effects, like especially The Thing. So the old '80s film John Carpenter directed. So I don't mind practical effects at all, but I think for this film, practical effects, that's just fine. But the way the creature looked reminded me of something like you would buy like out of like a Halloween costume sort of thing, the kind of thing you would see like at Walmart and you would buy. At times the creature didn't look too bad, and then other times, once you actually saw the full thing, I think that's like the face itself of the creature, that was perfect. The eyes, the mouth, that was perfect. But the creature had legs and it had arms, and you could fully tell that it was just a black suit with some fins on the arms, a fin on the back, and then a cool looking mask. I mean, you could tell that's what it was, and that was one of my only complaints about it, is that the costume design itself of the creature just wasn't very convincing. But that aside, I thought the mask of the creature looked just fine. And the creature worked well, like its hands, when its hands scratch people underwater. The creature worked well when it was underwater because the water disguised it. You really couldn't see it. But, and then the creature worked well in other scenes when it was like running through the dark. That worked perfectly. I really liked seeing the creature run through the dark and stuff like that. But it didn't work too well when you actually came towards the end. You actually see the creature in a broad daylight scene. The creature didn't work too well in that scene because you could see the creature full on, and you could just tell it was a guy in a suit. And I don't mind that because, the old 1950s, Creature from the Black Lagoon film. Yes, that's a 50s film, and yes, that's all they could really do back then. But I love the old Creature from the Black Lagoon film. That's a great film, and the makeup in that film, the costume design is great in that film. I really like that. And this film has kind of a feeling like that. The creature, I could tell that the creature in this film looks kind of like the one from Creature from the Black Lagoon, but the one in the Black Lagoon looks 10 times better. But overall, I thought Hypothermia was a pretty good film. Pretty decent, not amazing, not terrible, but right in the middle. I'd probably give it, a 3 or a 4 out of 5-star rating. I really enjoyed it overall and thought it was pretty decent. Had some nice, a nice kind of just a nice plot overall, except for that one small little element. Anyways, that's my review for the horror film on Netflix by the name of Hypothermia. Now let's go to my TV and see what the next horror film on Netflix I will be reviewing it. So, as you can see that I recently watched Hypothermia. You can see my 4-star rating. I went ahead and was generous and gave it a 4-star rating because I really did enjoy it overall. You can see the plot and that whole thing, the category it's in and that whole thing. So, let's see what the next horror film on Netflix is going to be. It seems that every time I watch a horror film on Netflix, it seems to disappear from this section and just go off into wherever. So it looks like every time I watch a horror film, it replaces it with another one. So this series may never end because of that reason. I don't know if it does that, but it seems like it does that because I can't seem to find some of the horror films I watched. Like I watched Rise of the Zombies and stuff, and they're not in this section anymore. Cherry Tree Lane, it's no longer in the section either. So I guess they just kind of go off into another section once I watch them. But it looks like the next horror film on Netflix after Hypothermia is looks like Hold Your Breath or Demonic, maybe The Grudge 3 or The Frankenstein Theory. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of skipping around because some of these I've already seen, like Rec 3 and Quarantine 2. Or it might be a found footage film by the name of Greystone Parks over there in the corner. So one of those 3 or 4 reviews you should see in the next few days. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my Netflix exclusive review of the horror film on Netflix titled Hypothermia. Once again, thanks for watching the video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later for more videos by Centipede Geek.